안녕하세요. 프랭크쌤입니다. 여러분 오늘은 한국에 살면은 좋은 점, 나쁜 점에 관련된 주제를 갖고 이야기를 하겠습니다. 마찬가지로 우리 브라이언 선생님이 왔습니다. Hello, Brian. How are you doing today?
Hello, Frank.
Are you happy today?
Well, yeah, but it's kind of a rainy day.
Yeah, because it is the rainy season.
Yeah, a rainy day in July.
Yeah, we are going to talk about living in Korea as an international person.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You are ready to start?
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you living in Korea, Brian?
How long have I been living here?
Yes.
Or how long have I lived in Korea?
Yes.
Yeah. So, about 24 and a half years.
Okay, 25년하고 6개월이 됐습니다. Do you like to live in Korea?
Yeah, I like to live in Korea.
Okay, why do you still live in Korea?
Well, I still teach English in Korea.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And, you know, I kind of like the Korean culture.
Okay, you like Korean culture.
Yeah.
So why do you like Korean culture? I think Canadian culture is used to you.
Well, I'm very used to Korean culture now. And Korean culture is very old culture.
Old culture. Okay, could you give me one example?
Well, Hangul, you know, very old language. And there's old buildings in Korea, you know, and things like that.
Okay, that's why you like the old style. And also, you know, many Koreans respect old people.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And what are bad things about living in Korea?
Bad things about living in Korea?
Yes.
I don't really know. Well, one thing about living in Korea is that, of course, if you want to travel internationally, you have to fly, okay? So if you live in Canada, you can drive your car. To go to America, you could drive to Mexico. But you can't do something like that in Korea.
Yes. You know, Korea is a peninsula,
Yeah.
but it is kind of an island, politically.
Yeah, politically, yes.
정치적으로는 여러분이 섬이에요. 좀 안타깝긴 합니다. 그래서 어디 여행을 갈 때 우리는 항상 비행기를 타고 가야 된다. So it means you can't commit any crime, Brian.
Yeah, I'll try to remember, Frank.
Yes. 그래서 여러분 절대로 브라이언 선생님은 그 범죄를 저지르면 안 돼요. 왜냐면 it is an island.
Yes.
좋습니다. What city have you lived in Korea except Cheonan?
Except Cheonan? Well, I lived for a short time in Incheon and Sihwa.
Oh, Sihwa.
Sihwa.
In Ansan.
In Ansan.
Oh, yeah. Which city is better? Incheon or Sihwa?
Yeah. Well, when I lived in Sihwa, it was very small. There was almost nothing there.
It was 25 years ago.
That would be 1999년.
Okay, 1999년, 1999.
Yeah, 1999. Yes.
Yeah, I was a college student.
Yes.
What brings you here to Korea?
Well, I came here to teach English.
Okay, do you like teaching English?
Yeah, I started to teach mostly at universities in Korea.
How long did you teach English in Korea, Brian?
About 24 years.
About 24 years. Yeah. Wow, it is a long period.
Yeah, long time.
Do you like teaching English to Koreans?
Well, sometimes it can be interesting. Yes, yeah.
Sometimes it's interesting.
Yeah, well, I sort of understand now what problems Koreans have to learn English.
오케이.
Yeah.
요즘 브라이언 쌤이 한국 사람들이 영어를 배울 때 문제점이 뭔지 알 것 같다고 합니다. Could you tell me what problems they have?
Well, Koreans have a hard time sometimes to understand countable nouns and why some are countable and other ones are not countable. And they maybe have a problem with continuous verbs, like I am eating a hamburger, right, which means now, right? And sometimes in pronouncing English words, right? But I can understand that because there are some sounds in English that are not in Korean, right? And every language is like that.
오케이. 여러분 간단하게 하면은 그 명사 셀 수 있는 명사냐 셀 수 없는 명사냐 요거 상당히 헷갈립니다. 우리 공부할 때. 그리고 특히 동사의 시제 중에서 현재 진행형이라고 하죠. 그 부분이 헷갈리고 그리고 발음 특히 우리 발음 정말 저도 힘든데 이 R 발음, F 발음 또 dark R이냐 light R이냐 이런 발음들이 되게 생각보다 어려워요. 하지만 여러분 발음은 그래도 괜찮지만 정말 어려운 거는 문장의 그 순서 잡는 거를 정말 잘해야지만 영어를 잘 알아들을 수 있습니다. That's why you have to keep studying English with 프랭크쌤 and listen to what Brian talks about.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems that Koreans don't have when they read Korean, when they try to read English, English is hard to read. It's a hard language to read.
Really hard to read,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Compared to Korean.
Correct, compared to Korean.
So many exceptions.
Yeah.
예외가 너무 많습니다. 읽을 때. 그래서 여러분 그 단어에 계속 익숙해지는 게 정말 중요하다. You still listen to our show and even though you don't understand what we are talking about 100% but just to feel the stream of sound.
Yeah,
That's really
good
important.
idea, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If you just listen to it, eventually you can put together the words.
Yes. And are you planning to get back to Canada someday?
To go forever, Frank?
To go forever or just temporary visit?
Well, I would usually visit Canada every 2 or 3 years, but then with coronavirus, I didn't go.
Yes. COVID-19
Yes,
screwed up
yeah.
everything.
So I haven't gone to Canada now for 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
That's the longest time. So maybe I could go today. Not today, but maybe this year sometime.
맞습니다. 그래서 코비드 전에는 2년 정도 이렇게 그 캐나다를 방문했었는데 코비드 이후에 이제 5년 동안 지금 못 갔고 가장 지금 긴 시간 동안 캐나다를 못 갔어요. 그래서 아마 조만간 캐나다를 방문할 예정입니다. When you are planning to get back to Canada, please tell me.
Okay, good friend.
Yes, I can lock your house.
Yeah. Well, I usually like to go in the fall.
In the fall.
Yeah, because
Maple trees.
Well, no. In British Columbia, there are no maple trees.
Oh yeah, no maple trees because the climate is like a rainforest.
Yes, so it's pine trees and cedar trees, things like that.
Right. 그래서 여러분 cedar tree와 pine tree. pine tree에는 pine은 뾰족뾰족한 말이에요. 그래서 소나무가 되고 cedar tree 하면은 여러분 삼나무입니다. 그냥 소나무의 일종이에요. 비슷한 겁니다. Okay, good. And let's move to the next one. Do you think Korea has good security compared to Canada?
Yeah, I think Korea is safer than Canada, especially when you go out at night.
But I know, Canada also really safe to walk around at night because they don't carry guns.
Well, there used to be. That used to be what Canada was like. But now there are a lot of homeless people in Canada, and that can be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard that, many homeless people, they started camp out in the park.
Yes. Yeah.
Beacon Hill Park, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe Beacon Hill Park, yes.
Okay, Beacon Hill Park는 여러분 빅토리아에 있는 그 공원, 가장 큰 공원의 이름 중에 하나예요. What makes you uncomfortable to live in Korea?
Uncomfortable to live in Korea?
Right.
I don't really feel uncomfortable living in Korea, except North Korea.
Except North Korea? Yeah, because sometimes they launch missiles.
Yeah.
That makes you uncomfortable?
Kim Jong-un.
Yes.
Yeah, he launches these rockets, these missiles. And remember, Frank, a long time ago, I guess maybe 2016, Kim Jong-un, he had atomic bombs testing, out under the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
여러분 2016년도에 김정은이 그 원자폭탄을 지하에서 실험을 한 적이 있습니다. You have a really good memory, Brian.
Yeah, I remember I was here at the school.
Okay.
Right, and it shook.
Oh,
the
it shook.
school shook with a kind of earthquake. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah, 그래서 학교가 조금 흔들렸다고 합니다. It's your true story?
Yeah, true story.
Okay, I trust you, Brian.
Well, Carrie was here too.
Okay.
You know?
What are some things that are good about living in Korea as an international person?
Well, living in Korea is a very modern country. The Korean food and Korean technology, those are good things.
Oh, you like Korean technology?
Yes, I think Korean technology is more advanced than even American technology.
Okay, could you give me one or two examples, Brian?
Well, I don't know now, but I remember that Korean smartphones were more advanced than American ones a few years ago.
Okay, a few years ago.
Yeah.
How about public transportation system?
Yes, the public transportation system in Korea is much better than Canada.
Much better than
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah, definitely.
The one thing I really like is that there is a small screen or
Yes.
monitor at the bus stop so you
Yeah.
can check what time bus comes.
Yeah. It tells you when the bus is coming. And also when you get on the bus, you have electronic tickets, right? And the buses are very frequent.
Yeah, very frequent.
You know, if you go to Canada, sometimes, especially at nighttime, you might have to wait an hour for a bus.
맞습니다, 여러분.
네.
그래서 그 디지털 그 버스 티켓이 있고 그다음에 frequent의 의미는 자주 종종이라는 뜻으로 often이라는 뜻이에요. 근데 캐나다에 가면은 밤에 가끔씩 1시간 이상도 기다려야 된다. And then public transportation fare is really high in Canada.
Yes, the bus fare is probably about 2 times that of Korea.
오케이. 한국보다 2배가 더
네.
비쌉니다. 그래서 여러분 캐나다로 유학 가실 생각이 드신 분들 비싸다. Living cost in Canada is really high. You have to understand and save a lot of money
Yeah.
if you are planning to study in Canada.
Yeah, now it would be very difficult. Yeah.
What do you think about Korean weather?
Yeah, Korean weather is quite good.
Quite good?
Yeah.
So I think Canadian weather is better than Korean weather.
I don't think so because where I come from on the west coast of British Columbia, it's very rainy.
Very rainy
all the time.
all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Even in summer?
Even in summer.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. So I've been there usually, winter times.
Wintertime, yes.
Always cloudy,
Yeah.
rainy,
Yeah.
misty,
Yeah.
humid.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like a rainy season in Korea. But much colder.
But colder, yes.
Yes. What do you think about living in apartment in Korea?
Well, living in an apartment in Korea is usually convenient and also modern, where Canada, maybe a lot of apartments are not so modern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Even, amenities are really good in Korea.
Yeah, the amenities.
Apartment complex.
The amenities are better.
Yes, amenity의 의미는 여러 가지 시설물을 의미합니다. Some apartment complex, they have swimming pools.
Yeah.
And why do Koreans love to live in apartments, Brian?
Well, I think it's because they like to live in town.
Yeah, they like to live in
Yeah,
town. It's
yeah.
very convenient.
Very convenient.
They don't need to maintain their own houses,
Yeah.
right? Do you want to live in apartments if you have a chance?
Well, I live in an apartment, but, my dream, if I had lots of money and I went back to Canada, I would like to live in a house,
Okay,
Yeah.
with a yard
a big yard,
and a big dog.
and out in the country.
Okay, very good. 여러분 좋습니다. 그래서 오늘은 우리 한국에 사는 그런 여러 가지 방식에 대해서 우리 한번 이야기를 나눠봤습니다. 어떤가요, 여러분? 좀 들리나요? 좀 어렵긴 해요. 하지만 여러분 계속 한번 그냥 흘려듣기식으로 한번 들어보는 것을 추천드립니다. 내가 듣기가 잘 안 된다는 소리는 단어가 부족하고 그리고 영어에 대한 문장 구조가 약하다. 그래서 이런 것들을 잡기 위해서는 여기 보이시죠? 저희 프랭크쌤 영어에 오셔가지고 여러분 저를 믿고 한번 유료로 체계적으로 공부해 보시기 바랍니다. 지금까지 프랭크쌤 브라이언이었습니다. 감사합니다.